Greetings, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Global Entrepreneurship Week, and it is my pleasure to have assembled a really great panel discussion for you today. My name is James Hollis, and I am currently Director of Alumni Relations at UTA. I'm a UTA representative in the community of Arlington, Texas. And again, I'm very fortunate to be engaging with this group, and I hope you'll continue to tune in as we go. This discussion will focus on the importance of entrepreneurship in early education. So we've got some great speakers assembled here for you, and I'm going to take a moment and let them introduce themselves. And I think I'd like to start with you, Alicia, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your connection to this group.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James. And thank you for having me. I am Alicia Collins-Butler, the Director of Education, Workforce, and Community Development for the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. I've been involved with the What's Your Big Idea program for about 7 years now, having worked for the Chamber. So I'm really excited to be here to talk about one of our programs that is near and dear to my heart.
Thank you so much. So you mentioned the name of the program, the What's Your Big Idea, and you're going to hear that a lot throughout the discussion today. That's the sort of the key topic as we wrap that around, again, the importance of entrepreneurship in early education. So you're going to hear us say, What's Your Big Idea entrepreneurship contest several times today, and I'm really excited to talk about that. Let's have Debbie tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to this group.
My name is Debbie Blackner, and I currently work for the Career and Technical Education Department of the Arlington ISD in Texas. And in one way or another, I've been involved off and on with the Big Idea contest for almost 20 years. I don't know. I've worked for the district for about 20 years, and I think we started doing this the second year I was in the district. So it's an old friend for me.
I love hearing that. So thank you so much. And finally, Cindy, if you would tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to this panel today.
Hi, my name is Cindy Rowan, and I am a sixth grade teacher at Wood Elementary. I've been teaching elementary school here at Wood for 25 years, and 24 of those years have been in sixth grade. And I've been involved with the What's Your Big Idea contest really for the last several years. I'm thinking it's been about 8 years since I've been involved with the What's Your Big Idea contest. And so it is also a big passion for me. My kids love it. I get excited when it's time for the What's Your Big Idea contest. So this is something that I'm very passionate about as well.
Thank you so much, Cindy. So to elaborate a little bit more, the What's Your Big Idea contest, as you've already heard us mention, and we're going to talk about plenty in today's talk, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with AISD, is proud to announce the What's Your Big Idea entrepreneurship contest. And in that, I will call it the entrepreneurship contest. And in it, it's a great challenge, and it empowers tens of thousands of students over its long life to think big, to dream big, and to take their ideas and do something with them. It's a curriculum-based program, and it's a contest. So students in 3rd through 8th grade are going to take their big idea, their big imaginative concept, and turn it into something, whether it's a creative writing element, or it's an actual sort of product outline or like product demonstration, and they show it off. We assemble judges, we assemble several layers of judging, and as it turns out, as they go through this contest, we find some really fascinating, even marketable ideas. The city of Arlington, for example, has taken one of these students' ideas about using phones to map potholes in the city and do it like aggregatively and organically, and let the city know when repairs need to be made. Like, that came from a kid's idea in this contest, and the city implemented it. Those are some examples of the types of things that we're seeing. So it's really cool once it's come to life and you see all the participation at several different layers. Well, in order to do that, it needs support from community partners. It needs support from obviously teachers like Cindy. It needs support from administrators who are going to help develop this program and implement it across the district. So it's a big deal, and there's a lot of people involved. There's a high school element, so now that's aimed at 9th through 12th graders, and that creates an opportunity for students to come together in small groups and learn ways to propose solutions for big challenges. So it hits at multiple levels, 3rd through 8th grade, and then again for a 9th through 12th grade edition. So having outlined that a little bit, I'd like to go back to the panel and ask each of you if you could answer this, and we'll start with you, Cindy. Tell us and share more how you've been involved with the What's Your Big Idea contest.
Okay, I have been involved in this every year because since I do teach language arts and I teach social studies, being an entrepreneur goes right into social studies. In fact, next week, we're talking about entrepreneurship in Latin America. And the kids can see how different it is and how lucky and blessed we are that we're here in the United States and you can be an entrepreneur, because we discuss and talk about how other countries sometimes you can't even do that. You have to do what the government tells you to do. And so I bring in all of that social studies in with the kids so that they can see how that is relating to what we're doing with this contest. And then my writing comes out because I'm a reading teacher. So I get to utilize my writing skills, and I teach the kids all about the writing process. And we go step by step on how to write a good paper, and how to write a good essay, and how to get an introduction and body paragraphs and conclusion. So it really does kind of encompass all of that. So I would like for the teachers to know that this is a great opportunity to bring all of that together, and it fits right into our curriculum here at school. So that's why I love doing it.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Alicia, I'm going to throw the same question at you. Tell us how you've been involved, as obviously with the chamber. Tell us how you've been involved with the program.
Yeah, so the chamber is really excited to engage in this program. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite programs that we do in our partnership with AISD. We help facilitate it on the back end. So we work very closely with our partners to develop how it gets implemented in the classroom, the student guides, the teacher guides, all of the materials that get distributed to the students. And we're so excited that we just rolled out a brand new year of this contest. We're moving into year 16 for us. And so we're really excited. We've built out new web pages and new innovative ways to get this contest rolled out to students, with our goal being 100% of campus participation district wide. So we're hoping to move towards that goal. You know, we organize the volunteers on the back end to bring in as judges to do that multi-layer judging that you talked about, James. We bring in about 20 to 25 volunteers that go through all of the student submissions. And just to give you guys an idea, we're not talking about a handful of submissions. We are talking about over 5,000 entries in our 3rd through 8th grade contest. So that is a lot of entries. So it requires a lot of volunteers and a lot of people who are dedicated to the cause, to reading the essays and looking at the art advertisements. And then we make a selection for our top winner considerations. And then we also partner with the UTA College of Business. We bring in 3 College of Business professors to really dive deeper into those top winner considerations to figure out what could go to market today, what has legs underneath it, you know, what ideas are viable, or which ones have potential in the near future. And then they go ahead and they select our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place winners. So outside of that, we facilitate all of those volunteer opportunities and making sure that the contest is run appropriately on the back end. We also organize the largest entrepreneurship ceremony. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there in the country. So it's a big partner with UTA. We hold it at College Park Center. We usually have about 4,500 people in attendance for that event, and we're recognizing about 1,000 student finalists and announcing our top winners. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of volunteer opportunities and a heavy lift behind putting that together, but it is phenomenal. If you've never been, I would encourage you to volunteer because it is the best day, best Saturday you will ever spend.
I can add to that, having seen it and having volunteered and sort of seen the behind the scenes. It's really like the Super Bowl of elementary school ribbon events. I mean, it's fantastic. Like mom and dad are just so excited to see these kids even just get acknowledged for that thing that they've been thinking about, that they work so hard on, and then they get acknowledged, they get called out, and then we have winners. I mean, we have actual marketable ideas that get graded and scored, and they get finally selected as winners. So it's really fantastic, the event itself, but really going back to what you said about just all the layers of volunteers. I mean, over 5,000 entries, that's a lot of individual pieces of paper that need to be looked at and scrutinized and ordered. And I mean, how many people kind of touch this thing at several different levels? It's really cool. Well, Debbie, we'll come back to you. And you had mentioned really from the get-go of a very prestigious kind of long involvement with the program, even before its inception. So I'd like for you to share a little bit more about what you do specifically in support of the What's Your Big Idea contest.
Currently? Are you asking historically or currently?
Well, I'm sure you could talk all day about how it's gone from this to this, but I'd like to know a little bit more about what you do to support it currently.
Well, our Career and Technical Education Department works closely with the Chamber in several different ways. And we basically, at this point, we work with Alicia primarily, help her come up with ideas, help support the effort of the entrepreneurship contest. It has grown, she said, how many entries, Alicia?
Over 5,000.
5,000. So, we started, we thought it was great. We had over 100, right? And sorted those in a classroom. And now that sort of thing is, it's just exploded. And I think entrepreneurship, we have entrepreneurship classes in high school, and we have entrepreneurship 1 and 2, so 2 years plus a practicum. And I support those programs through my job. And entrepreneurship is just popular with our students. And it's a way for them to be creative, think about their future, use all their talents, and come up with something positive. So to me, entrepreneurship is, for our students, is just an awesome opportunity.
That's fabulous. So at the administrative level within the school district, this is an important theme. And you see that it's not just sort of a singular contest moment that exists for a temporary period of time in the school curriculum. It's really a fully like integrated concept, and students as young as 3rd grade, and I imagine they're touching it somehow even in the younger grades, but the idea is that they're getting involved, and it's an ongoing theme throughout their whole school trajectory. That's fantastic. You don't see that everywhere. So that's something to be very excited about. Cindy, I'd like to come back to you. You're an AISD, so Arlington Independent School District teacher, and you've already talked about how you bring your writing to the table, you bring your curriculum to the actual program. Can you talk more about maybe some reasons why you choose to engage in this activity specifically, and then maybe some other elements that really excite you about the program and the contest?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said before, it does allow me to kind of bring in all of the curriculum that we have, because it even touches in on science, because to create something, a lot of kids think scientifically, and they have all these fabulous ideas. And every year, and I know sometimes it can be difficult because teachers think, oh, we don't have time, we've got this, we've got that. But if you really look at the whole contest and see what the whole thing envelops into, and you can do this, and you can do writing, you can bring in social studies, you can bring all these different areas into this project, it actually turns out to be fabulous because I'm able to pick and choose what I want to do. And the kids, the one thing I do like is I never really get to see the artistic side of the children, like them doing their art. We don't get to see that. They do that in art class. But in reading class and social studies, I don't get to see a whole lot of that. So in this project, when the kids are able to choose, do I want to make, do I want to write an essay, or do I want to come over here and do some sort of drawing? And it allows these kids to make that choice. And some of them do choose to do both of them. And it is really fabulous because one of the winners that I had was in art last year. And I was so excited because I didn't know that he was such a great artist because I don't get to see that part of them. So it really is a great project. And I spend quite a bit of time on this project with the kids, about a couple of weeks, sometimes even longer than that, to really develop this idea with them. And I don't worry about it because it fits into my curriculum, and the kids love it and they enjoy it. And they are very competitive in 6th grade. So they're out to do the best they can so that their name can get on that finalist list.
And let me just add that, one of the things we try to promote that's hard to promote among our students is problem solving skills.
Absolutely.
And this is one big problem solving exercise that integrates their academic curriculum. So it's a great chance.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of some of the art entries, I can remember going through and grading several at a time. And it's really interesting to see what typical 4th and 5th graders are really concerned about. It's something about these special shoes. And I see like 30 different pairs of shoes that do something amazing. And I'm like, man, I never thought this much about shoes, or I've seen several entries where it's like they want to do something about cleaning up the ocean. I'm like, that's awesome. They're thinking about real world problems and they're bringing it to life in either this drawing or this essay. So it's really neat, the variety and the scope and what these kids are thinking about as you go through the contest.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cindy, for that. Debbie, I'll jump back to you. And again, sort of when you've talked about really your connection over the long life of the program. Can you speak more about the importance of sort of this high school or later version of the curriculum in the program? Like why adding high school is important, why pre-graduation, like why are those elements important as a new part of this?
How much time do we have? There are a lot of reasons, right? I can't hit them all, but I guess our number one reason is, again, we ask our students, one of the things that employers want is the ability for them to work in teams and solve problems. So we're asking these students to work in teams. These are not in high school, it's not an individual competition, it's a team competition. And it's hopefully the students who choose to participate are motivated to participate. Not so much by teachers in high school. A lot of times this is a more independent thing. The teachers will introduce it, but the kids are really going to go out on their own, brainstorm together. Maybe they have some time in class for that, but maybe they don't. They create a video introducing their concept of solving some problem for the city, whatever it is in the year. Our high school students, entrepreneurship is a hot topic. There's lots of television shows about entrepreneurship, lots of stories about entrepreneurs, like Elon Musk making it big, from zero to mega trillionaire. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of PR out there around entrepreneurship, and it grabs them, and it's something they're interested in, and it's a possibility for their future. And as they participate in this, hopefully they start thinking more about their future. It's just a few years until they're adults when they're, in high school. So it's just I don't know, don't want to say awesome too many times, but it's a phenomenal, how's that? That's another adjective, uh, opportunity for them to exercise their creativity and problem solving and teamwork skills.
Thank you. It is phenomenal. I think what's most interesting to me is when there's excitement about a topic like entrepreneurship, when there's like internal, like some sort of intrinsic excitement about it, you see a whole different level of application and pursuit in the student. And it's true for all of us. Like if you're excited about something, you're going to pour more of yourself into it. And that's exactly what we see here. And then you add this high school element where it's giving them some challenges and skills that they're going to take on into adult life. And this is just one of those opportunities. So that's really tremendous. I'm going to come back to you, Alicia. We've already talked about a little bit of sort of where it's come from, where it is now. Can you tell us where you think this contest is heading and this theme and this topic is heading?
Yeah, so it's been really exciting to watch the evolution of this program with including the high school. And we launched the high school program right as COVID hit us. So that was our very first year of the deadline. So we have not had a non-COVID year to conduct this program. So I'm really excited to see how that kind of pans out for us this year. This will be our third year going into high school. So like I said, really excited to see what this year's students propose, what solutions they propose for us. Also really excited that we've done 2 new elements to this program. And normally we don't roll out a lot of new things because it is a heavy lift in the sense of there's a lot of elements to put together and we want to make sure that we execute this program very well. So we make small changes in the evolution pattern of this program. So we implemented 2 very large things this year and I'm excited about it. We launched this contest in Spanish for the first time ever for our 3rd through 8th grade students. So not only are we supporting our traditional campuses, we are now able to implement it into the 4 or 5 language academies that AISD has in elementary school and our junior high. So there's now another piece of the curriculum or the TEKS that it can fit in by us just rolling it out in another language. So really excited. We will be accepting the contest entries in Spanish as well. So we will be looking for Spanish fluent volunteers to review those the submissions this year. And the second new piece that we have evolved into this year was allowing students to not only put forth their fine arts skills by creating an advertisement, but we're allowing them to do a video commercial. So we're giving them an opportunity to do a live pitch, which we know in the entrepreneurship world is a necessary skill if that's something that you plan on doing. So we are building the fundamentals of entrepreneurship into this contest little by little. So I think and we're also taking our cues from the students. So last year we did see a handful of Spanish entries and a handful of video submissions. So that was kind of a natural progression for us to move towards. So I think as we evolve and continue to evolve this program, there will be natural progressions. We will take our cues from the students. High school is a collaborative effort right now that is focused primarily on solving challenges, but we haven't been able to tap into the fine arts piece of entrepreneurship at a high school level. So I think that will be a natural progression at some point for us too. We implemented last year the art category for our 7th and 8th graders. So little by little, we are bringing everything up to serving all of our AISD students, whether they have a fine arts pathway that they're dedicated to or anything in between. So like I said, our goal is to be to have 100% campus participation district-wide.
That's tremendous. I mean, when you think about it, like this is an opportunity to engage with an idea, present an idea in several different ways. Each of us kind of have strengths and skills. That's normal, like that goes on into your adult life. It's good to challenge those, but you're finding ways in this program to help a student focus on writing and pitching or putting a video together to make that like an expressive, like appeal video. You've got that artistic element, and now we're in different languages. So how cool is that? We're engaging with the whole concept of bringing your idea to life, and we're breaking through some barriers as we do it. That's fantastic.
And being fully inclusive.
Yeah, thank you. Cindy, I'm going to come back to you. So you're a teacher with AISD, and you've been a tremendous example of teacher supporters in the program. You've had top winners several years. Can you share with us how or why your students are so successful with the contest, or perhaps some tips that you have for engaging with them and like getting good results out of taking their idea and like seeing it through to the finish line?
Oh, absolutely. I think it all has to do with your attitude, because I get super excited, and the kids know when Miss Rowan's excited about something, it just goes off on them as well, and they get excited. And what I also do, and even though last year we had some kids that were online, I use Canvas quite a bit. So on my Canvas, I do create some pages that have like some videos that you guys have put on where there were previous winners from the years prior. And I will put those up, and the kids love to see, oh, what are these sixth grade winners doing? What are their ideas? What did they do? I go online on Google and I look up young students who are entrepreneurs, because I try to make these kids realize that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can create and be an entrepreneur at any age. And they find it fascinating when you look up these entrepreneurs who are, 5, 8, 12 years old that created their own business, their own products. And so by seeing these videos of these examples that are out there online of kids that are young entrepreneurs, it makes them feel, well, maybe I can too. I can do this. Let me come up with an idea. And we talk a lot about different problems, like what kind of problems you might see at home, or something that you can't fix. Well, let's come up with a product that can fix that. And so we really do a lot of brainstorming in our class so that the kids will feel comfortable with coming up with their own idea, because at first it is a little bit difficult and they're thinking, well, what can I do? But once you start really showing them some real life examples, they get really, really excited about it and can't wait to create and come up with their own ideas. And so they love to share with each other as well, talk amongst each other. And like you said, they do love shoes. They love to come up with ideas about shoes and animals. I don't know if you've seen a lot of projects about animals, because a lot of our kids do have pets at home and trying to find things that will make it easier for them and their pets. And so they come up with a lot of ideas about that. So it's just a really neat idea, and getting the kids, and if the kids see that you're excited about it, then they're going to be excited about it as well. And they're going to try really hard, because sixth graders, like I said, are super competitive.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And thank you for your excitement. And I hope it's contagious really at your campus, where there's other teachers around, and that kind of spreads out equally, because as you've said, it sounds like if you're excited about it, then you can find some ways to present it to the kids and they pick up that excitement.
Oh, absolutely. Because when they come to me, they've done it in fourth grade, they've done it in third grade, they've done it in fifth grade. So, there's teachers that are just loving this. And we have some teachers who are kind of competitive with each other as well.
Oh, there you go. So it doesn't end.
How many did you get in finalists? So, it makes it fun for us too, as well as for the kids.
Little competition never hurt anybody. I don't know. So Debbie, I'm gonna come back to you real quick. We've mentioned just the importance of the theme of entrepreneurship and how it's like been integrated into the curriculum. Can you tell us why AISD, sort of at the administrative level, why there's a strong support? Like what value does AISD pull from this concept and really from the context?
So I think a big part of it are those crucial life skills that will predict success for our students beyond high school. And that includes, like we talked about, collaboration and working in a team, right? That's a great skill. speaking well, preparing an effective presentation and speaking well. Hopefully in a high school, they understand that to get a good solution, they need to collect some data and analyze the data. Now that's up to them. But, at that point, we're hoping that they can realize that that's needed for a good solution. Social media can be a positive, right? An advocacy tool, something besides, what they use it for typically. Also solving complex problems that don't have a definitive answer, right? This is not like a school project where they say, in what year did the War of 1812 take place? This is a real messy, who knows what the right answer is. We've really got to work on this problem. And being innovative, right? Solving those problems with innovative ideas. And all of those things, if you think about it, who wouldn't want, these kids may go on to be entrepreneurs. They may go on to work for someone else, regardless of that. All of those characteristics predict success. Mm-hmm. So that's really, we want all of our students to graduate prepared for success, whether that's college, straight to the work field, military. We want them prepared for success, and this helps them get there.
Well, that's a great case statement right there. That by itself, we could just soundbite that and make that your commercial for the program. Cindy, I'm going to come back to you. So again, we've already mentioned you've had top winners, you've had finalists, you've had, you've seen several students come through the program. Can you share a little bit more about both how they embrace the contest, but really maybe after the contest is over? What sort of changes do you see in the students after the contest is over?
Okay. Well, I know that the kids get super excited. I do appreciate how there is a ceremony for the kids and to recognize them, even if we didn't get to meet in the stadium. The drive-through, we had posters made. The kids felt like they were on top of the world coming through the drive-through and being celebrated for their successes. And so I do feel like that after the contest, I think these kids kind of have this open mind that they can create and do things even at their age. And it just kind of allows them to think, okay, I can create a business, or I can create a product. I can problem solve. I can figure things out. And so it really does help them with other skills in all subject areas. And it just allows them to really think outside the box, to be inventive, to be creative, and not always be the same ideas that are out there. And it allows the students to think. Mm-hmm. So it really has been worthwhile. I've really enjoyed doing this contest, because it goes right along with the next contest that we do in January. And I won't say what that is, because I don't know if you guys are involved in that one, but they love it. Mm. It's really good.
That's great. And I love what you said about really challenging them to think. It's one thing to throw information at kids all day long. But if you get them, I have kids, like that's the whole idea. It's like to get them to the point where they're thinking for themselves, thinking creatively, using what they've been given. Like that's so important. And I see that value too. Mm-hmm. Alicia, we've heard a lot about the program today. Can you just maybe summarize for us what makes this contest what it is, what makes it good, strong, successful, and then maybe summarize those points for us?
Yeah. So I think that, for one, hands down, I think that the reason that this contest is so successful is the fact that we're able to integrate it with curriculum. The fact that teachers are able to have a project or an activity that matches a curriculum. I don't know 100%, but Cindy, I hope you can, agree that it helps you when you're writing your lesson plans to know that you have a pre-designated activity that you can work into your lessons. I think that that's a huge part of our success. And I also think that everybody on the call here today has said that, it's not about academic skills. These are real life skills. Mm-hmm. So the collaboration, the learning to think outside the box, the learning to solve a problem, the critical thinking skills that are going into this, overall, it just makes a better human being. Those skills transcend into multiple industries. So I think that there's a lot to be said for this program. Yes, it's fun. And that's also probably why we're so successful. The kids don't really know that they're learning. They're having fun. They're participating in an activity. They get to go to a ceremony and be a finalist, and they get to have, they get to walk across the stage at College Park Center and get a medal for, their innovative ideas. So they're having fun, but they're learning while they're doing it, and they're picking up life skills as they go along. I will say that also, we're giving them an opportunity to enter into the Arlington entrepreneurship ecosystem. And I know that those are a lot of big words for our AISD students, but for those of you in the community, you will understand what that means. And it's not just a contest. We have created continuous touch points for them to stay involved and be active and engaged in entrepreneurship from 3rd grade to 12th grade. Now, on the back end of these programs, we've talked about the ceremony, but our first place students, we implemented a summer camp a few years ago. So we take our first place students and we send them to an entrepreneurship camp for a week. That really enhances the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. We allow them to expand on their idea, how to put a business plan together, how to market the idea, how to start thinking about these things. And they really walk out of that week of camp with like a blueprint of how to get their idea off the ground. Phenomenal for a 3rd grader, even more phenomenal as we go on. For our high school students, it is, it's that networking element. So we are introducing pieces of being an entrepreneur that are extremely critical. So for our high school students, we did a networking reception for a lot of our local entrepreneurs in the community, our community leaders. We brought the students in to be able to share their pitch videos and then just be able to open network with the community. How many high schoolers can say that they had an hour and a half dedicated time with the mayor of Arlington and some city council members, and just to be able to talk with thought leaders like that and be able to discuss their entrepreneurial ideas? Huge. But it's that networking. We all know that public speaking is like a huge fear for a lot of people, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So introducing these skills, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. So that, I think, builds on our success.
That's tremendous. So we're coming close to a close of the discussion now. I think I'd like to ask both Cindy and Debbie, what would you say to encourage your colleagues, other administrators within the district about the activities coming up, the curriculum, and really the program?
Oh, I would definitely go and talk, because I will say we have a lot of new teachers this year here at our school, and that will happen. And so I would not mind going over there and just sharing with them these amazing projects, the activities that the kids can do, and to really let them know, because I know the first thing when you tell a teacher about something extra, they're like, oh no, another thing. But once they actually hear me and see that, look, you can cover all of these curricular areas, and once they know that and can see how it can fit into their curriculum, I think that we'll have more teachers that will want to be involved. Because we have about 4 teachers here who do it religiously every year. But, like I said, we've got new teachers now. So it's time to go and say, hey, let me tell you about this contest and what your kids can do.
Right. And share some of that excitement that we know you have.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Debbie, would you add anything to that?
Well, Cindy is great. We're all teachers so excited. I can't imagine what we could accomplish. Mm-hmm. I just think that all of us in education are here because we want to benefit our students. We want to help them. We want to encourage them. And I think this project, regardless of grade level, is a way to encourage our students to develop themselves and to see success, whether they win or whether they just go home at night and talk with their parents about it over dinner. Right? Or whether they talk about it with their friends. All these things are building our students. And so I would just encourage everyone to just take a few minutes, check out the contest materials, and maybe just encourage a few kids to do it the first year, and then just build on that, because I think you'll have very positive experiences.
Thank you. So Alicia, as a community partner, as a, really with the chamber as a hub for, business and volunteer interaction, how would you encourage others in ways to get involved with this?
So I'm glad you asked that, James. I know we've talked about the volunteer opportunities. So whether it is, something that is a passion project of yours to get involved with entrepreneurship, I welcome you as a volunteer. This is kind of a situation where we value your time, talent, and treasure in volunteering with this program. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. We have a lot of sponsorship opportunities if that is your area of expertise. I will say that, from a Chamber of Commerce perspective, we're known for business to business networking events and events that celebrate business in the community. This is very different than anything else we do. It is the largest event that we do, and it is B2C. So it's business to community. So if you are a business in this Arlington community, it would benefit you to be part of this program, to get in front of parents, teachers, administrators, local and local leaders, pretty much a wide variety of different people in the Arlington community. So it's not only a fun event, but it would be a beneficial event. So there's a number of ways to get involved. I would encourage you to reach out to me. Let's have a conversation about it and see if it fits for you. I promise you won't regret it.
No, I mean, I can attest to that. Even if you're just glancing at some of these entries, like, you're going to come away changed because you figured out something that a fourth grader or a whole bunch of fourth graders are really concerned about. Mm-hmm. And it might just change your day a little bit to realize, you know what, that's a neat thing. And I never thought of that. So if anything, find a way to get involved if you can. And I want to thank all those that have some experience with it already. And I think I'll close with that. This has been a great discussion on the What's Your Big Idea contest, both the program, the curriculum leading into it, and the actual contest itself. Thank you for joining the stream today. This is one of several Global Entrepreneurship Week streams or panel discussions, videoed conversations, things that are going to be taking place all week long. And we're glad you took a moment to visit this one. You can go to www.gewfortworth.org and find more of these. And we hope you do. I'll leave with this. Thank you for helping us build a better community through entrepreneurship.
Thank you.